this could very well be my last discussion, but I want to put something out. For the longest amount of time, I've never had fun making these discussions or making these freestyles. I've always, in the back of my mind, I've always had this worry, and I don't want to raise my voice. I don't want to lose control. I want to be able to say this because I'm at a point where every freestyle or every time I kind of find Dino, I'm reminded of 2017. And going into this conversation, I want to kind of close this chapter in my life. I kind of want to explain to people why I've been able to. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into it. But before I do, I would really appreciate it if you would click the like button and subscribe to this channel. I'm not sure about if there will be any more freestyles. I'm sitting on some discussions, but I need to make this video, when I kind of go on the way I go on, right? And I make really lengthy videos. This one won't be lengthy. Like the other ones, they will be split and edited. I think when I find Dino, I'm channeling my rage. I think one of the things I kind of understand being myself is I went to these facilities, I went to these places, these educational platforms, whatever you want to call them. You refer to them as schools and colleges. I just refer to them as places, locations, facilities. But what I'm about to say will really aggravate the community because a lot of people spend their time there. So when I grew up going to these facilities, there were always problems at home. There were always problems with my family members. There were always problems here. And it was kind of hurtful, I think, for myself because I was kind of alone. I was kind of by myself. Like, I'm kind of used to it now because I make these discussions, these freestyles. But back then I didn't have a phone. I didn't have the abilities I have now. And leaning on this very thing that I hear a lot of people, like I've spoken about, why people, don't, they don't like me. The reason people don't like me isn't because I spend time with them all the time. It's because they're toxic. They either want to keep me in their back pocket or they kind of want me to keep up appearances. What keeping up appearances means is, to me, it might mean something different to you, but to me, keeping up appearances means I'll be where you tell me to be, and I'll do whatever you want me to. Like this community, how we have a bunch of simps and a bunch of guys making videos, and what these dudes are doing is making these females, bigger and popular and more well known. For me, I was the sort of person who went to these facilities and I respected people. I respected people, and I always went over to people, and if I was training with a certain person and they stopped immediately or whatever, like they just didn't show up the next week, if I saw them or didn't, I would think to myself, oh, how come you didn't come? And they could respond in with different responses, right? They could respond. One of them could be, oh, why do you want to know where I was last week? Or it could be, sorry, last week I was caught up with something. I was kind of at work, or I had family situations going on. Could be any reply. A respectful person will respectfully submit to me a positive answer, and a disrespectful, rude person will just give me a negative answer. And that's my thing in life, right? I kind of like in the freestyle, I was groomed from a very young age to be the best version I can. To a lot of these people, a lot of people will hear that and pretend that they were groomed from a very young age to be the best, but they're not. Only because of me, they pretend to be. So, like, I respect Yusuf, like I respect Manjinda, like I respect Adam Lees, like I respect Thomas, like I respect Tyrese, and Josh McCarthy. I've kind of gone through these facilities, running with these guys, being able to socialize with these guys, being able to build chemistry with these guys. It's never fallen on me that when they ended, it was my fault. I want to admit this now. A lot of these guys have gone in their own direction. They've been able to do what they want to do, and I understand this. That this is just the sort of thing that I need to close. And in a sense, I'm just kind of past certain people because you know I look at various people and I look back at myself and I'm thinking to myself, when I went to these facilities, no one came over to me. No one wanted to sit next to me. Nobody wanted to say, yo, you good, man. Yo, can I come sit next to you? Can I come train with you? Can I go do this thing with you? Can I partner up with you? It was always I was the last picked. I was the last one picked. And it's ironic that I say I was the last one picked, because when you look at these other people, the reason they're picked is because they're plural, they're lumped together, which kind of is a compliment in my favor, but it's kind of disrespectful because I'm still a part of it, and I'm kind of sick of this facility. I'm kind of sick of their rules. I'm kind of sick of being told to do, because when I went to these facilities, that's all I did. I kept up appearances. I was in your back pocket. I think a lot of people over the years hated on me because they knew I couldn't be brainwashed. They knew I couldn't be told what to do. And with these YouTubers, with these particular people are like, I like what that person's doing. You're just a distracted slave. You're just a person that wants to watch another person. You're in their comment section, you're in their DMs, you're interested in what they do. Now I'll admit, right? For particular people and a person we won't name, this person had various ways around it, and could have just pretended I didn't exist, and could have just pretended, nah, that person is trying to talk to me, but I don't have the time to talk to them, so I'm just gonna pretend, and I'm just gonna forget about them. But that's not what people do. And I think that because nobody wants to be there like me. If somebody tries to reach out to me and I don't know them, I won't talk to them. I'd much rather have a conversation with you. If in all honesty, I'd much rather walk over to you and firms you, safe you, show you respect. I'd rather get on with you, and I think that's why a lot of these talented guys have gone on with their lives, because they recognize that they can, and they've gone on with it. And whereas me, I'm a fool because I kind of stayed in these facilities. I stayed in a place that I didn't belong, and that's why I feel worthless. And I play a lot of Lucas, and he says, your clock is ticking, you're wasting your time, you need to get in a gym. And I'm just like, if it was another place, if it was around the right people, I would wholeheartedly. And that's not an excuse, that's just the way it is. Nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to train with me. Nobody wants to do anything. All they want to do respectfully submitted to you is be lazy. Now, I'll admit, I'm angry, I'm aggravated, I'm frustrated because of the past. I'm not frustrated because it's the past. I'm frustrated because I never had a chance. That's my way of life. And what I mean by the fact I never had a chance, I never had a chance to go to other facilities. I never had a chance to be in other promotions. I never had the opportunity to be booked, to be, not used, but utilized correctly, right? If I'm listening to certain man, if I'm editing their music, it's always I'm utilizing that music correctly. But then I think to myself, why am I on YouTube? Why am I watching these particular people? I'm never going to know that person. I'm never going to socialize with that person. I'm never going to get to know them on a deep, spiritual, respectful level. It's always going to be, look what they're doing and look what you're not doing. So it might as well be my book closing. And, there'll be more in the future, not on this topic, but, I mean, I don't want to do it anymore. If this is where it's going to go, I just want to start a new life somewhere else. I just want to be somewhere else, my guys. I just think that where I am in this time, I'm not respected. And until I get the respect that I deserve, I'm not gonna make anything else. I've violated my enemies. I've called them out. I've disrespected them the way they disrespected me. I've done what I needed to do, and I'm on top. I really don't see a way forward, and that's not me being being this way, or I'm trying to be like everyone else. It's just the truth. I've done it all. I have done it all, bro. I'm on the mountain. I'm at the very top, and it's because of this that I feel the way I feel, right? I'm just sick of the constant disrespect. I'm sick of these people. I'm sick of going to these facilities and not seeing any change. And with me, I've always changed. I've always tried to, change the contents of my character to evolve, and to see where I came from in 2017 to fast forward to now. I'm just not seeing it. I'm still feeling the effects. I'm still looking at certain people that came on social media and came off social media like it was just a face of them. But me, I'm the guy who came in from 2017, who changed the game, who, like Roman Reigns, it happened to him right in 2018, but it happened a few months before. It might have happened to him at WrestleMania, but when it happened to me in 2017 of December, it was personal. And I will never forget that. How can I stay here? How can I pretend to like living in a place where I'm not even treated equal? I'm not treated like everyone else. I'm not trying to say I want to be treated like everyone else. I'm trying to say I just want to be respected. I just want people to walk over to me, to talk to me, to show me respect, because that's what I do. I walk over to them. I want to be around them. I want to show them respect. It's vice versa, but people laugh at you. People disrespect you, and people think that once I reach that level, that status, I stand on the culture, that I want to do what these guys on these podcasts do, and I just want to break character, or I just want to lose my shit, or I just want to talk down to a dumb bitch, or I just want to show emotion.